Hey, welcome back to the channel, everybody! I'm your host, Frank. American Eagle Rises! Ugh. Monday blues, whatever you want to call about it. We're in a new month. June 2nd? Yeah. Oh, excuse me. I just got back in from outside. Anyway, yeah, I could get into that a second ago. So, if you guys are new here, buckle in. We got all sorts. Well, I don't know. I don't say all sorts of things today, but we talk about all sorts of things today. I tried to look for something super newsworthy, America First news. So let's go real quick. A little market recap. I saw earlier in the morning, like SPY had a slight dip, and like gold and silver were kind of like taking. And I think that's more geopolitical news. If you guys haven't heard, and I guess maybe this is the only thing that maybe is remotely newsworthy, supposedly, they show us stuff, Ukraine had some weird, semi-truck with a bunch of drones. It's like something from a real bad sci-fi film, right? Oh, hey, it took on a bunch of Russian air bases. Really? Did it? Did it? We don't know. We'll see. Obviously, very unique tactics. When in doubt, just throw real cheap little mosquitoes. Actually, the U.S. Army has a new philosophy that they're working on. They call it mosaic warfare. It's more like a patchwork. So instead of having like large numbers deployed, small units that can adapt. So you might have like a little, I don't want to call it a 3D printer, but anyway, look it up. Very interesting type of warfare. And they do have things like this, but on a much greater scale. This looks like a whole bunch of enthusiasts got together. Anyway, with that said, we'll see what the real effects are, but supposedly it is what it is. The only thing I will say is that obviously Ukraine doesn't want peace. It says it does, but it doesn't. And man, I tell you, they already poked the bear. Literally, they poked the Russian bear a few times, and Putin don't like being poked. That's all I'm gonna say. And I'll give him heads up. Putin could really put the pain on him. I don't know. I want to give a little bit of credit to the President Trump, and I'm pretty sure Trump's pissed. I mean, Trump's like, dude, I'm trying to, you got that stupid little guy in Ukraine. But yeah, but I don't want to say, Russia wants to have peace, but it wants it on its own. That's how Russia's always been. You can blame Putin, whatever. But Russia does what Russia wants to do, right? And Russia, hey, we want peace, just give us most of Ukraine, right? So that's just, and Ukraine's like, wait a minute, man. It's kind of like giving away California. Although we probably would give that trade, like, hey, Putin, you want California? And somehow we'd probably still be on the tax. Anyway, but yeah, so the market was down a little bit, and yeah, the gold and silver was going up, and looks like gold and silver kept going up, and somehow a miracle, a Wall Street miracle. S&P finally ended up. It was down. It's still relatively flat, but it ended up positive nonetheless. The Treasury yield was down and then up, and it ended up today at 4.46. So it's creeping a little bit back to 4.5. Meh. That's what I call it. But yeah, man, some of my gold and silver miners, man. Woo! Well, I call them my gold and silver miners. They're actually my miners, but yeah, holy hell. One went up 11%, but then again, it's only at $6.88. So on a percentage basis term, yeah, this company tends to do that too. Has a lot of big up and down days. It's crazy, but it seems to be stuck in a band. I am trying to sort of exit that position. I don't know if I'll be able to. Let's see here. What was the 1 year target? You guys probably don't give a shit. Wait, it has a yield on it? It has a... Oh, there's a dividend on it. Well, then if that's the case, we'll probably just keep it. I tend to keep them when they have it, but this is like 0.33, so it's not even 1%. But hey, I remember they didn't have a dividend, so that's cool. It's going to be kind of hard. They've been slightly missing their quarterly estimates for earnings, but we don't really care about that. So anyway, yeah, crypto was down a little bit bigger, but it kind of ended up recovering a little bit. Still at 104, just under 105. Maybe I should have sold it a few days ago when I was at 110, but it was very brief, guys. Crypto is very volatile. I don't know what to tell you about it. I just pick up a little bit here and there, and then when I can take a profit, we try, but we don't have a lot of money invested in it. Anyway, yeah, with that said, that's our little market update. What else did we want to talk about? Yeah, when you have projects, you're doing the projects, and then there's things that make the project longer than anticipated, and then like, oh, hey, you got this one thing you need for the project, and as you're using it, it breaks or... So, yeah, I have one of those, like, weed whipper, whatever you want to call them, weed snippers, whippers, weed whackers, trimmers, and it's a 40 volt, so this thing is very powerful. It's pretty quiet. I don't really care about the noise per se, but it gets the job done. But it goes, obviously, it's that stupid little plastic cord crap, right? Well, you're supposed to just spool the thing in, right? And then there's this tool that, well, they didn't quite say it in so many words. But I kind of know how to do it now. But my little tool that they have, you don't have to take the thing off or split, right? You just stick the wire in, or whatever, plastic line. And there's this little crank thing, right? Well, the crank thing doesn't engage on the thing, right? So, and then as I'm doing it, I'm like, well, why is the one end going in and nuts? But you're supposed to fish it. It goes right the way through, right? So, I'm like, hey, it looks like it's doing both ends. So I'm like, all right, let me put it in the middle. So I'm fighting this whole thing because I'm trying to push it in. It won't go in. There's a spring on it, and there's all this junk in there. So I'm thinking I'm just, hey, man, it's going to take 2 minutes to spool this thing. Nope. But it's done. Because I need to, like, do a little bit of whipping out here, and it's like 80 degrees. It's really hot now, man. Woo! It's hot. And then I need to kind of cut it, and then I got this spray, whatever, to put on your hose to kind of kill the weeds. Because my damn neighbors, like, it's not that bad. And, like, I don't even keep the lawn that much, but anyway, they want, like, perfectly manuscript or whatever, lawn, green. I have mostly, like, clover. That's what I call it. It looks like clover. It's green. Who cares? Right? I do get a lot of the pollinators, the bees and whatnot, because, I don't just, like, poison my lawn or anything like that. But so I keep trying to educate them about this. But anyway, yeah, so that's going to take a while. So I came in here because I went for a walk. I was hot. So I want to kind of cool down a little bit, get some water. So I thought I'd do a real quick video here. And we're, at 9? We're at 9 minutes. So, yeah, guys, what's been going on? You guys, I already told you guys yesterday. We had that garage sale, and, yeah. So let's see here. I don't know, man. I'm getting old. What do you guys think? It seems funny. Why does it not look nearly as gray when I first cut it? Anyway. Sometimes I feel like I just want to, like, just take it right off. No one looks at my hair and go, oh, wow, it's really nice, Frank. We ain't got no ladies beating on the door, although, I don't know if I told you guys, I got a bunch of American flags out. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's Pride Month, man. Come on, man. Pride. American pride, man. Not that fake ass woke communism bullshit though. But yeah, so we got an old Betsy Ross flag. If you guys don't know what the Betsy Ross flag is, that's the original United States flag. It's got the 13 stars in a circle formation. Oh, and I got it from my buddy, and it's a fabric one. Made in the United States. It's actually an old one from like, I don't know, like the 50s or 60s. It's in immaculate shape, so I got it out there. Man, I can't believe it. And then I got, like I call it the one that you get from Sam's Club. It's actually a decent brand. I can't remember if it's from Flag City. If you guys don't know, Finlay, Flag City. It's in Ohio. It's actually right off 75. I should actually stop in there. Just, but I see it says Flag City. I love it when it goes by there. But anyway, they make a bunch of flags there. But most of the ones that you get from like Sam's Club, and they are made in the United States, but they're like, I don't want to say polyester, but you know what I mean? Like it's more of a plastic material. I think you can buy the fabric ones, but they're much more expensive. Yeah, you would be paying at least $50 just for the flag if you want a small pole kit to put on your side of the house, whatever, right? But yeah, you want a traditional flag. Like I can't put a traditional flagpole here. I wish I could here in this FOA. Actually, I would pull it up. I would put it up every day and take it down every day. That was like one of my responsibilities when I worked at the library. I worked at my public library during college a couple of years. Man, they loved me, man. I was really good there. They had me do basically everything. I only did it a few times, but the only job that I really didn't do on a consistent basis was the checkout, because they gave all the girls the checkout. So, back then, you put the card in. And I think they actually had the scan. Somebody would scan the book. So then they would, check it for 3 weeks. So the system, inventory-wise, would say it was checked out. And then you got the little card. I remember I used to have to punt, rubber stamp the damn dates on them. And, dude, we would go through like a big cardboard box. So, like, I don't know, man. It's probably like 1,000 cards in these. Like, okay, stamp all these this date. Stamp all these date. So every day, right? Because you had a different date for it. It's like, oh, my Lord. So, they combined that with the the phone reception thing. So, I did that for a while because I was really good at that, right? And you had to, like, transfer calls and, you'd be like how it was, like, yeah, good, like, hello, good afternoon. Thanks for calling the Farmington Hills Public Library. How may I direct your call? And then, hey, you put a late fee on my phone. Oh, I'm sorry, sir. I'm sorry that happened to you. What book is that? Who can I think? I was right. Blah, blah, blah. Well, let me talk with my one supervisor over here, and maybe we can do something for you. You better do something for me. Can you hold for just a minute? They're right over here on the and then be like, oh yeah, sir. What was your okay, we see your book here. It's only 2 days late. We'll waive the waive fee, and then we'll just renew it for you renew it, and you don't have to pay. Oh, hey, thank you, kid. And then like all these angry customers, right? It was so great because, apparently every time there was at least when I was working, there was an angry customer. It's funny though. I'm surprised I didn't just get all pissed off on the phone, but I guess I was working, so I didn't want to piss anybody off and get fired, right? But yeah, anyway, I would resolve all their issues, and like the real mean people. This is the ironic thing. The real mean people, like once you were just like, yeah, I know, I get you, this thing happens, and they're almost like they're already calming down, and then you solve their problem. They're like, wow, thank you. And then these people would call like back right away. They would just call back, and then they would want someone else, and then they would send like this send a typed like a handwritten note, and it would go up there because they would always ask who what your name is. I'd be like, oh, my name's Frank Anderson. Oops, I doxed myself. I don't care. Nobody's looking for me. I don't owe any money. You nearly adopted the name. I was born with it. The Bane. I love when Raven does that. Bane is a real cool character. I give it that. But anyway, that's just to say, like, I would always get these, like, all the angry people, like, literally 90% of them, they would go back to the library and they would always say how, what a pleasant experience it was, I was really, really mad, but, Frank was able to, address my call in a quick manner and resolve it and go over the, So I'd get all these acclamations. Now, problem was they didn't give you any extra money, but you'd be put in the, your name would be put in there, and like there was like a little, I'll call it the little internal library newsletter, if you will, right? Saying the things that happened, and you get like what's the word I'm looking for? Preference. I can't say it, guys. What did I tell you? It's still there. I still struggle. I still feel like I'm 5-6 years old, trying to say words that I can't say. I can hear it. I can hear it in my head, and I can think it, but when my lips say it, it doesn't come out. But yeah, I think I got like a little bit more, maybe extra pay come raise time, but like quarter. I think at the time like minimum wage was like $4. So okay, I got $4.25. Woohoo! But then every once in a while, right, you get better shifts, or you get to work. I think it was like, and then I think sometimes I got to work, pick who I wanted to work with, so I could see the schedule and kind of see that, right? So, because I think we all had to work like a minimum of like one Sunday a month. I'm trying to remember. I think we were only open for 4 or 5 hours on a Sunday, and then I'm trying to remember because I think. There was a couple of days, well, in the summertime, it was always they wanted me to come in and work basically a full day. So, but yeah, you would at least be 4 or 5 hours, like during school week, it would be like, all right, you start at 4 or something like that, and you'd stay till close. Then they also had some events in the summertime or other, they're outside. But anyway, that holy hell, the time, I'm sorry, guy, I wasn't babbling about this. Wow, that was not my intent, guys. I didn't think it was that long. I'm just giving you all my background here. But anyway, that's just to say, right? Like, I think that's back then when customer service really meant something, and people really did. Like I said, these people were pissed, but they were nicely pissed. You know what I mean? Like they weren't throwing shit or. Like, let me talk to your manager bullshit, right? Like, they said, let me talk to your manager because, they would say good things, right? But, we don't live in that anymore. Like, hell, you can't even just, people are there, they're getting all pissy, and it's like they're getting pissy over something that, it's like, dude, you can't get a free meal. Like, yeah, anyway, guys, I got to get back outside. I need some water, though. I'm feeling a little bit cooler. My skin feels a little bit, I'm like really white. As you guys can see, my arms, let's see here. Yeah, it looks like the little bit of farmer tan or whatever you want to call it. It's going on. But I'm kind of a crispy critter in the summertime. So with that said, I don't see anything passing. Let's get to the stop button, Frank. Oh my God. All right, see ya. Bye.